Welcome to Chapter 6, Revising Business Messages. In this class, you're going to learn a lot about professional writing when it comes to business communications. Every day in your job, in your professional career, you're going to be expected to create business messages and create them effectively so that individuals that you work with or do business with can understand your main points. So when we talk about the creation of business messages, we're usually talking about the 3x3 writing process. Remember, the 3x3 writing process includes pre-writing, drafting, and revising your message, right? Revising your message means improving content and sentence structure, and proofreading, correcting any grammar mistakes, spelling, punctuation, format, or mechanics, especially when it comes to language. Now, in this chapter, we're going to talk about the third stage, which is revising business messages. It's important to note that phase 3 takes the most amount of time in the writing process, believe it or not. Pre-writing, obviously creating an outline of your business message. Drafting, obviously the creation of yours, actually takes less time than revising. So, how do we revise for conciseness, right? Business messages should be concise, to the point, and try to get your message across in the least amount of time and most efficiently. So here's some tips that you can use to revise for conciseness. The first is to eliminate any flabby expressions. Don't use 4 words when 1 will do. That's usually the motto I say in my head. So when somebody is saying, at this point in time, it's more efficient just to use the word now. How about due to the fact that? Instead, use because. In very few cases, use seldom. Despite the fact that, although, it should be used instead. And then finally, in the near future can be substituted with soon. Anytime that you can eliminate these long, drawn-out expressions and concisely use one word, you should do so. You should also limit long lead-ins, right, when you're writing a business message. And some people mistakenly refer to this as personality, right? This is to let you know that Monday is a holiday. You don't have to be fluffy. You don't have to think that you have to have personality in these business messages. Be straight and to the point. Eliminate those long lead-ins. I'm sending this email to announce that our internal audit begins on January 5th. Just get to the point. And don't say I'm sending this email. There's no point to say I'm sending this email. It's not, you need to just be concise and eliminate those long lead-ins. Drop unnecessary there is and there are's and it is and it was fillers. For example, there were more than 45 visitors who commented on her blog. Just be concise and drop the there were. More than 45 visitors commented on her blog. It was a hilarious animal video that went viral. Just say a hilarious animal video that went viral. These are examples of where you can be more concise. Reject redundancies, right? Combine together. Those are redundancies. Those words mean exactly the same thing. You see what I just did there? Another redundancy is saying exactly same. Exactly the same. Just say the same or exact. You don't have to use both. You don't have to feel that you have to add personality. In my personal opinion, that's another bugaboo with me. Bear Traps is another one. If anybody watched the movie Step Brothers, that's kind of funny. My personal opinion. Well, whose opinion is it going to be? You're the one talking. Of course it's your opinion. So just say my opinion. And then finally, refer back, right? Refer back to this. Refer back to that. No, you don't have to. Those words mean the same thing. Just say refer. Again, reject those redundancies whenever possible. Purge empty words. Words that don't have any place in there, get rid of them. We are aware of the fact that many managers need assistance. Just be more concise and say, we know managers need assistance. This can help eliminate a lot of unnecessary words in your articles, in your messages, in your documents, right? And what's kind of funny is the fact that as college students, you're often graded upon by professors or other people. Hey, we have this, we have that. You need to give me a page. You need to give me this many words. In fact, in the professional world, we want to be the opposite. We don't want to roll on for a page when only a half a page is needed. So try to be concise. Social media, right? They put limits on characters usually. Now, Twitter, or X as it's known now, used to be 150 characters or less. It's been extended, but again, Twitter is a good example of how to limit your message. Right? When you create a post for Facebook or you create a post for X, you're often making sure that it's concise. Think the same thing with your messages outside of these social media channels. Keep it short and simple. Try not to be wordy. Try to be concise. These are two examples of wordy expressions that have been made more concise. Also, dump trite business phrases. Pursuant to your request, please do not hesitate to. Thanking you in advance and enclosed please fine are all trite phrases that you can simply eliminate and improve them. This also not only improves your business message as far as length, but they also improve your business messages as far as tone. Often when we use trite phrases like this, people get a little upset with you. People think that you're being rude or you're being you have a superiority complex or you're trying to prove a point. So try to remove trite messages and phrases from your messages. Drop cliches, slang, and business buzzwords, right? Don't refer to a professor as prof, right? Last but not least, that is a old cliche. Drop the cliches, drop the profs, drop the dudes, drop the slang words, right? Do not use acronyms. Do not LOL or I'm old, so I don't even know any more acronyms. ALL, AMOA, LOL, stuff like that. Don't use those. Don't use slang. And then finally, don't use buzzwords. Don't try to fill business communication up with buzzwords telephonically, right? And relanguaged. Well, I don't even know what that means. Just be clear and concise to the point. Finally, unbury verbs that are needlessly converted to wordy noun expressions, right? Give consideration to. You don't need to say that. Just say consider. Reach a conclusion. Conclude. Create a reduction in. Reduce. Make a decision amount. Decide. And take action. Should be just act. Also, control your exuberance by using sparingly such words as very, definitely, quite, totally, etc. We are actually very certain that they totally agree with our proposal. We are certain they agree with our proposal. You don't need to be exuberant in all or excessively in your business messages. Adding readability through document design. Make sure that you employ white space by adding headings, including bulleted short or numbered lists, using short sentences instead of long run-on sentences, writing short to the point paragraphs, and setting effective margins. Your document should be very clear and read very, very short and to the point. Express what you're trying to get across in your business message, and don't use 10 words when 4 will do. It's important that you keep it clear and concise. Setting up margins, whether you're using Word or Google Docs, if you go to margins, you should use at least 1 inch margins, if not 1.5 inch margins. Margins help people see data, and again, white space is a good thing. So separate your paragraphs with at least a line break, if not two. Make sure that you use ragged right margins. It provides better readability. That way, that you you don't use right justified margins because it reads easier and it looks just less cluttered when you use just ragged right margins instead of like left justified margins or right justified margins. We're not a newspaper. You're not a newspaper, so you don't have to fill the column or margins from margin to margin. So make sure that you use ragged right. Also, please choose appropriate typefaces. I know most of us are from Cleveland and remember the Comic Sans letter when LeBron James left Cleveland the first time. Don't use Comic Sans. Consider sans serif, right? As opposed to serif, right? Sans serif is good for headings, signs, and material that does not require a lot of reading. Serif is usually used for body fonts. Serifs have small features at the end of strokes, and the best way you can remember sans serif and serif is serif, the letters have little hats on them, right? Sans serif means they don't have hats, right? So sans means minus in Latin. So that's how you remember sans serif versus serif, right? Finally, use 10 to 12 point fonts for all of your text. A lot of people have vision problems, especially us older people, such as myself. So try to make it easier on people by using 12-point font whenever necessary, but I get it. If you're writing a resume or writing something, you may need to use a little bit smaller of a font to get all your words on one page. You want to try to get all your words to one page. For special effects, consider capitalizing all the letters, using small caps, using boldface, italics, or underline to help get across your messages. Use vertical lists and enumerated lists to improve comprehension. Numbered lists for items that show a sequence or steps, and use bulleted lists for items that don't have a chronological order. Just remember to do lists that way. If there is a certain order that people have to follow for that list, use numbers. If not, just use bulleted lists. Finally, employ parallel construction when listing similar ideas. Not parallel, here's an example of a not parallel when listing ideas, right? Good listeners do the following. They usually stop talking, distractions are removed, questions may be asked, but they must be relevant, right? A balanced construction would be good listeners do the following. Stop talking, remove distractions, ask relevant questions. You see how all three of those bullets are very similar in structure, as opposed to the first example, where the first two, where the second one is distractions are removed, pretty much close to the point. But that third one drones on and on and on, and it's not very concise. So make sure that you follow a similar construction path when creating that business communication. Finally, add headings to enhance comprehension. It's always a good idea to have an outline or headings that contains headings and subheadings and category headings. That way people can can review the document, put together in their mind a comprehensive list based off those headings, and then if they're unclear on a certain section, they can easily find those sections that they're unclear and review it again. So headings, main headings, subheadings, and category headings help people organize and consume that information and then review that information in a easier way. Always proofread to catch mistakes. If you don't have Grammarly installed, please install Grammarly in Word or in your Google Docs. It will help you tremendously find any special spelling errors, any formatting errors, any grammar, punctuation errors. And always make sure that you correctly spell names and you get numbers correctly and you follow specific formatting foreign numbers correctly. When you're revising when articles or pages that have been printed out or messages that have printed out, just remember to use these basic proofreading marks. The mark for delete is squiggly through it. Capitalize is 3 strikes underneath that character that needs to be capitalized. Lowercase is an LC next to that. Transpose, it's underneath the characters that are supposed to be, or words that are supposed to be transposed. And then close up is that that mark. Insert is a caret beneath it. Insert space is the pound sign with the character. Insert punctuation, insert period, and then start paragraph. To revise digitally, make sure to use strike through and color. Also, make sure that when you are editing a business message in Word or Google Docs, that you turn it to editing mode. That way people can see what you're editing. It's very easy to use. In fact, I'll show you here quickly. Just go ahead and open a Word document. Okay. All you're going to do is change to editing, and from here you can make changes, and it will track your changes. And you'll notice that the changes are tracked, and people can accept a suggestion or reply with a quote or a comment. So it's very easy to go ahead and edit. And again, you're just going to hit this and switch from editing to suggesting. That's it for Chapter 6. Make sure that you read the message and perform any assignments that are due this week. Until next week, have a great week.